The boy who thinks the life is strange. At least, that's what I realized the night I met a stranger who somehow knew everything about me. It happened about 3 years ago. I had just moved to a new city for work. I didn't know anyone there, and honestly, I felt pretty lonely most of the time. My job was fine, my apartment was small but comfortable, but every day felt the same. Work, eat, sleep, repeat. One rainy evening, I decided to go to a small cafe near my apartment. It was one of those quiet places where people sit alone with their laptops or books. I ordered a coffee and sat near the window watching the rain. That's when an older man walked in. He looked to be around 60, maybe a little older. Gray hair, a long coat, and tired eyes. The cafe was almost full, and the only empty seat was across from me. He politely asked, "Do you mind if I sit here?" I said sure. For a few minutes, we sat in silence. Then suddenly he looked at me and said something strange. "You moved here recently, didn't you?" I was surprised. "Yeah, about 2 months ago," I said. He nodded slowly, like he already knew the answer. Then he said something even stranger. "You're not happy here." Now I was confused. I laughed awkwardly and said, "Is it that obvious?" He didn't laugh, he just looked at me seriously. "You're running from something?" My heart skipped for a second. The truth was, he wasn't completely wrong. A year before that, my life had fallen apart. I had lost my job, my girlfriend left me, and I had a huge argument with my parents. Moving to a new city was supposed to be a fresh start. But how did this stranger know any of that? I asked him if we had met before. He shook his head. "No," he said. "But sometimes people carry their stories on their faces." That sentence stuck with me. We started talking more. The conversation became strangely deep for two people who had just met. He talked about life, mistakes, and second chances. At one point, he said something that felt oddly personal. "People think starting over means changing places," he said. "But most of the time, the thing you need to change is yourself." I didn't know why, but those words hit me hard. Then he asked me a question. If you could go back 1 year and fix one mistake, what would it be? I immediately knew the answer. I would call my father. The last time we spoke, we had a terrible argument. I said things I shouldn't have said. We hadn't spoken since. The old man listened quietly as I told him the story. When I finished, he simply said, "Then call him." I shook my head. It's not that easy. He smiled gently. It never is, but life is shorter than you think. We talked for almost 2 hours. Eventually, the rain stopped. The old man finished his tea, stood up, and prepared to leave. Before he walked away, he said something that I will never forget. "Don't wait too long to fix the things that matter." Then he left. I never saw him again, but his words stayed in my mind the entire night. The next morning, I did something I had been afraid to do for a year. I called my father. When he answered, there was a long silence on the phone. Then I said the 2 words I should have said a long time ago. "I'm sorry." My father didn't say anything for a few seconds. Then he said something that made my eyes tear up. "I've been waiting for this call." That moment changed everything. Over time, we slowly repaired our relationship. Things weren't perfect, but they were better. Months later, I went back to the same cafe hoping to see the old man again. But the owner told me something surprising. When I described him, the owner said he had never seen anyone like that in the cafe before, which made the whole thing even stranger. To this day, I don't know who that man was. Maybe just a random stranger. Maybe someone who noticed a sad guy sitting alone. Or maybe life sometimes sends the right person at the right moment. All I know is one thing. If I had never gone to that cafe that night, I might still be carrying that regret today. Life is strange like that. Sometimes the smallest moment with a stranger can change the entire direction of your life. And the lesson I learned that day was simple. Never wait too long to fix what truly matters.